Welcome guys, this is 10.3, multiplying monomials by polynomials. Okay, so we're gonna do polynomial operations. We're gonna multiply monomials by polynomials using the distributive property. We're also gonna do it by using the box method. So we're gonna introduce that. We haven't been exposed to that already. So using the distributive property, right, we know that. We just take whatever's on the outside, distribute it, and multiply it, right? So like 3 times 4x, we get 12x. 3 times negative 15, we get negative 45. That's the distributive property, right? We show our work by writing it out. So like 3 times 4x, we get 12x. 3 times negative 15, we get negative 45. And those are not like terms because they don't have the same variable. So it's 12x minus 45 is our solution right there. Using the box method, so each part of the first factor, we're going to multiply by each part of the second factor. So like 3, we just put a 3, 4x minus 15, so 4x minus 15 in a box method. And we just multiply, like a multiplication table. So like 3 times 4x will give us 12x. 3 times negative 15 will give us a negative 45. And we still end up with 12x minus 45. Right, so we still end up with the same answer, 12x minus 45. So there's different ways to look at it, using distributive property or the box method. And the reasons why we're practicing this, we're going to show our work using distributive property. You're going to see similar to this, and we're going to move forward, and also algebra 2. And then box method, we need the box method for our harder polynomials. Also, we're going to do factoring. Okay, so we're practicing both because we're going to need them in the future. So like first one, so we multiply 5, and we're going to distribute that to each term on the right. Right, so 5 times 4x squared is 20x squared. Right, 5 times 4 is 20x squared. And we have 5 times 2 will give us 10. So we end up with 20x squared plus 10x is our answer. All right, so 5 times 4x squared here is our box method. We get 20x squared. 5 times 2 will give us the 10. Right, and you can see how we multiply, right? So 5, we're going to multiply by 4x squared. We just break all the terms out. So we get 5 times 4 will give us that 20, and then we have 2 x's multiplied together, so that's why we got x squared. All right, so 20x squared. We're multiplying. And that's how we got 20x squared. So our final answer is 20x squared plus 10. Example number 3, so distributing, right? So 4x times 3x, 4x times negative 1. So 4x times 3x, then we get 12x squared. So how do we get that? Show that. So 4 times x, and we have 3 times x, right? We're multiplying that. 4 times 3 will give us that 12. And we have 2 x's multiplied together, so that's why we have x2, right? X squared. So that's how we got 12x squared. The bottom one, we have 4x times negative 1. That's just going to be negative 4x. Then they're not like terms again, so that would be our solution right there. 12x squared minus 4x. Using the box method, so we set up our 4x and our 3x minus 1, and we just multiply it, right? So 4x times 3x, 12x squared. 4x times negative 1, negative 4x. And that's how we get our solution. Example 4, if we have 3 terms, we just distribute 3 times. All right, so we get 3 times 2x squared, we get 6x squared. 3 times negative 3x, negative 9x, 3 times negative 5, negative 15. All right, again, if we multiply this thing, so 3, 2 times x, right, because x squared. We just multiply, we have 6, we have 2 x's, so x squared. That's how we get 6x squared. And we same box method. So now we have 3 terms, we just make our box a little bit longer. So 3 times 2x squared, 6x squared. 3 times negative 3x, negative 9x. 3 times negative 5, negative 15. And that's our answer. right there. Right, so the distributed property is showing our work. Also, the box method is going to help us out to keep us organized in what we're doing. Okay, so number one, multiply using the distributed property and box method. So we distribute the 4, right? So we're going to write these out. So we do 4 times 6x, and then we got 4 times 7. Right, those are our two terms that we're going to multiply out. Right, so 4 times 6x, 4 times 6, 24 with 1x, so it's 24x. 4 times 7 is 28. And then combine like terms, if possible, these are not, we cannot combine like terms, so we just write them out. So we have 24x plus 28. That's going to be our solution using the distributed property showing our work. The box method, we're going to write this out. So we got a 4, so we're going to put a 4 here. Our binomial is 6x plus 7. And we're going to multiply this out, just like a multiplication table. So 4 times 6x will give us that 24x. 4 times 7 will give us that positive 28. Okay, so two different methods. So that's why our answer is 24x plus 28. Okay, so I'm going to show your work. So distributed property show your work, box method show your work. Just like how we set it up here. Then number 2, again we're distributing the 6x. So we write 6x, we multiply that to x, and then 6x, we're going to multiply that to negative 4. So 6x times x, remember how we do this, right? So 6 times x, we got 1x here, so 6, we got 2 x's multiplied together, so that's x squared. That's how we got 6x squared. The second one, 6x times negative 4, right? 6x times negative 4, that's negative 24, 1x. So negative 24x. Again, those again, they're not like terms because one has a squared and one just has an x. So we just have 6x squared minus 24x. And that's our solution by distributing 6x. And then using the box method, we write 6x. Our binomial is x minus 4. So we write that in there. Multiply it. Right, so 6x times x will give us 6x squared. 6x times negative 4 is negative 24x. Same thing. So we got 6x squared minus 24x is our solution. Okay, number 3. So 5x times 4x, 5x times 5. So again, we're going to write that out. So 5x times 4x, and then 5x times 5. So 5x times 4x. So again, if we want to write this out, 5x times 4x. 5 times 4 is 20. We got 2 of these x's together, so x2, x squared. So this is 20x squared. Next one, 5x times 5 will be 25x, because there's only one x, right? 5 times 5 is 25. Only one x. Those again are not like terms, so just end up with 20x squared plus 25x. Using our box method, right? We write our first term, 5x, our monomial. Our binomial is 4x and positive 5. We multiply that, 5x times 4x, 20x squared. 5x times 5, 25x. Same thing, right? So we got 20x squared plus 25x, because it's a positive 25x. Number 4, we distribute negative 8. We have 3 terms, we distribute 3 times. So negative 8 times 2x squared, negative 8 times 2x, and then negative 8 times negative 6. We're going to multiply that out. So negative 8 times 2x squared, it's negative 16x squared. Right, so negative 8, 2 times x, because you have two x's. Multiply that, we get negative 16x squared, right, because two x's. So negative 16x squared. Next one will be negative 16, just an x, because that's one x. Negative 8 times negative 6 is positive 48. Again, those are not like terms, so our solution is just negative 16x squared minus 16x plus 48. And that's our solution. Using our box method, we set it up. So our monomial is negative 8. Our trinomial this time is 2x squared, 2x, and negative 6. Then we multiply it out. So negative 8 times 2x squared is negative 16x squared. Negative 8 times 2x is negative 16x. Negative 8 times negative 6 is positive 48. I still get the same answer. So we got negative 16x squared minus 16x plus 48. Okay. And that's how we do it. So we're practicing both methods, right? Distributive and box method, because we're going to use both in the future, and you're going to see both in the future. And the box method is very important when we get to factoring or going backwards to factoring. So we're going to practice that later on. We're going to eventually get that, so that's why we're practicing the box method.